All right, I could go on and on. I'm going to stop. Without further ado, did you come here for a forecast? I guess we can. Was that the reason, Kim? I think that's why we're here. All right, so without further ado, let's look at the numbers for the Atlantic hurricane season, the great work that Matt and his team did. So we're predicting an above-average season once again, 2025 above average. And you can see the graphic up there. Specifically, there's a 60% chance of above normal season, a 30% chance of a near normal season, and only a 10% chance to be below normal. So we're really looking at an above normal season once again. For the range of storms, we're calling for 13 to 19 named storms. That's when we get to 39 miles an hour when we name the storms. So 13 to 19 of those. Of these, 6 to 10 are forecast to become hurricanes. And that's when you get to the 74-mile-an-hour mark. And 3 to 5 is the number of major hurricanes. That's Cat 3 and above, with maximum sustained winds of 111 miles an hour or greater. The average is 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, 3 major. So above the average. So just appreciate all the hard work, and here we go. Remember what Laura said. They got every one of them right last year. So pretty good job with the crew. So we got to be ready. The ACE, the accumulated cyclone energy, 95 to 180% of what we would normally see, and that really heavily dependent on some of the stronger storms. You get a bunch of strong storms, it'll jump that ACE index really high. Why? Well, the team looked at it. Warm sea surface temperatures, probably the number one contributor to the whole thing. Not much wind shear. Wind shear tears the storms apart. We don't expect a lot of wind shear. And the African monsoons is a conducive spot to be able to launch out the waves, launch out the storms from there, which get into the warm waters and they develop in an ENSO neutral situation that is conducive for this forecast. So everything's in place for an above average season. So no matter the forecast, what do we always say? Only takes one. It only takes one. So we got to be prepared right now. We've heard that from the parish president, Laura. We got to be ready. There's no lines for supplies today. No lines for gas, no lines for plywood, no lines for water. So while there's no lines, it's a good time to go out there and get your supplies and your kit, put it together. I've said this for decades. There's no such thing as Hurricane Justa. And the Weather Service, being a NOAA, being a part of the WMO committee that names storms, I'll make sure we'll never have a Hurricane Justa. There's no such thing as just a Cat 1. There's no such thing as just a Cat 2, just a Cat 3. Every one of them are different. The bigger the storm, the slower the storm, the more the impact. I don't care the category. So remember that. Hurricane Juan in Louisiana, what was that, Danielle? 1985, I think. And then you look at the slow storms in this state. Isaac was another one, right? Only a Cat 1, but look at the devastation in the states. You got to be prepared. Even a small one could put lives in danger. From my experience, the indirect fatalities can be as greater than the direct fatalities. In other words, down power lines. So just because a storm has passed doesn't mean the danger is past. Please, everyone in the media, keep reminding people that. We lose a lot of people after the storm. We can stop that. They're preventable. Down power lines, improper generator use, we've got to keep reminding people to properly use generators. That is a preventable fatality. If we could get the word out to make sure they're outside, far from the house, don't run them inside, and that sort of thing. And don't fill them up while they're hot. That happened to us last season. People were filling up with fuel while they were still hot, and they caught fire. Okay, the heat and critters, Louisiana, I remember a lot of storms here. What do you got after the storm? Why am I asking questions? It's like snakes, gators, fire ant mounds. I've seen them all here. The dangers after the fact are significant. Last year, I got to fly into a hurricane for the first time. I flew into Helene with the hurricane hunters, and I had a whole new appreciation of the storm as we got pushed up about 1,000 feet in a matter of seconds. It was something to see. So big shout out to the hurricane hunters, and Laura mentioned the planes that are ready to go. The hurricane hunters at NOAA and the Air Force, 53rd Reconnaissance, they're ready to go. And they're heroes, by the way. Just flying with them. They go towards the storm to get us away, right? Absolute heroes in these things. All right, so get the latest information, and I'm going to wrap this up. Make sure to get the latest forecast, please. It changes. So, and social science tells us that people latch onto that first forecast. It's called anchoring. So we got to remind people, keep updating your forecast. Keep looking for the latest information, weather radio, wireless alerts, hurricanes.gov, listo.gov, para obtener información sobre el hurricane, como prepararse. Go to listo.gov for Spanish information, and everyone should prepare as they're going to get hit. So I'm going to end this with, we're ready. We're ready for this. I need everyone in the country to be ready as well. We're equipped with the best forecast models than we've ever had. We got great support, which is really appreciated, and we continue to get support from NOAA and the Department of Commerce, and we'll continue to improve our services to make sure this country is absolutely prepared. So we're ready here at NOAA. Are you?